20 years ago today, something unbelievable happened. Something unimaginable. Crazy, even. It was the day that 3 men from Cuba are executed for terroristic acts of hijacking a passenger ferry. 4 other men are sentenced to life. But besides that, something else happened today. 20 years ago today was the day that the movie Holes was released. You might be wondering, Cody, I don't think I've ever heard of— Yes, you have! Holes is that one movie that the substitute teacher would put on when you were in middle school. You know, the kind of movie that you'd get 40 minutes into and then never watch ever again. Don't remember this movie? Maybe you remember dying of laughter during this scene.
I can get strong too.
Well, if you can relate or remember this movie in any way, I respect you. But of course, there will always be those uncultured ones in the audience, so let me catch you guys up.
Once upon a time, there was a magical place where it never rained. The end.
It's fine if you haven't seen the movie, we can't all be perfect like me, but I guess we should probably just talk about the whole reason why you clicked on this video. You're probably thinking, Cody, what the heck, dude? Holes is like, totally not the best Disney movie of all time. I'm here to tell you, you're wrong! Sort of.
Hear me out, please!
Now listen, if you're 99% of people, then you didn't even remember this movie was a Disney movie. I mean, just like...
I'm tired of this, Grandpa!
That's too damn bad!
Holes was not even going to be a Disney movie up until its release. Walden Media was in charge of all the production, and it was only when they needed help distributing the movie that they turned to Disney. Also, the author of the original book, Louis Sakar, I don't know how to say his last name, helped a ton with production. He wrote the entire script, and he tried to make it as faithful to the book as possible, if not better, which the movie is pretty dang good. The movie script was Louis Sakar's perfected copy of the book, minus some details that got changed, and we'll touch on that in a bit, but the book, believe it or not, was disliked by some parents. They believed it was too violent. I think this is why they made some weird changes from the book to the movie. Especially, I feel like Disney probably played a part during the distribution. This is just my opinion. For example, there's a scene in the book where Stanley is hit in the neck with a shovel, leading to a massive gash in his neck. This scene, in fact, did get filmed, but it was deleted for unknown, probably violence-related reasons. The strangest part is that in one scene, Stanley is normal. In the next scene, he just randomly has a huge bloody gash on his neck with no explanation. Another deleted scene that was also in the book and the movie was the scene where Stanley's tentmate Magnet gets stabbed in the chest with a pitchfork by the warden. It was a weirdly violent scene, and I don't blame them for taking this one out. But this still begs the question on why. They still have scenes of the outlaw Kate Barlow shooting people in the face. Shia LaBeouf even described this movie as, quote, "It's a different kind of Disney movie. It's got a juvenile detention center, and there's a body count, so I'm happy people liked it the way we did it." It's literally described as a different kind of Disney movie. I could not have said it better myself. Another example of these weird changes in details, though, this time this is something that's only in the movie, is that there were phrases that got strangely altered in post-production. One funny example is a scene where the camp counselor Dr. Pendansky remarks that the rec room, quote,
"Smells like piss from a mule been ruminating on asparagus for 2 weeks. Smells like puke from a mule been ruminating on asparagus for 2 weeks."
It's frankly an unnecessary change, but they went out of their way to change it anyways. For a different kind of Disney movie with a literal body count, these are some changes that really don't make a ton of sense.
I guess you have to fill in the rest of the holes yourself.
Holes takes place in the deserts of Texas in the late 90s. It was filmed in California with a budget of $10 million. It was directed by Andrew Davis, the guy who directed The Fugitive. The author of the book wanted to hire him so the film wouldn't be made, quote, "some soft, fluffy film." That's pretty cool. Also, they actually dug like 400 holes for the movie, which is pretty amazing. Also, the cast is just absolutely stunning for what people consider to just be another kid's movie. We have the likes of Sigourney Weaver, John Boyd, Henry Winkler, the Fonz himself, literally just as Stanley's dad.
I learned from failure.
We also meet that guy who looks like if the letter Y was a person.
Scott Plank,
That's too damn bad!
the landlord from Cobra Kai, and even Dule Hill, who's known for playing Gus in Psych. Go watch Psych, by the way. It's a phenomenal cast for a phenomenal movie, and their characters will forever be iconic. We had the likes of Mr. Sir,
I think I'm kind of purty, don't you?
the Warden,
I'm surrounded by cow turds.
Dr. Pendansky,
You'll be in D10. D stands for diligence.
Trout Walker,
Too damn bad!
Kissin' Kate Barlow,
I've been wishing I was dead for a long time.
and even Sam the Onion Man.
I can fix that.
Speaking more of Louis C.K., he also wrote backstories for the characters so the actors knew how to better portray their characters. For example, according to a Forbes article, Louis came up with a 3-page backstory about how Mr. Sir ran a fencing operation out of the back of a strip club in Albuquerque. That's super goofy. Speaking of super goofy, we also had Stanley Yelnats being played by Lil Baby Shia LaBeouf. Speaking of... This was Shia's first major film role. He made his debut playing the character Stanley. In the book, Stanley was a really fat kid who lost a lot of weight by the end of the story. But since this was pretty much impossible to pull off with a child actor, they decided to just find someone who looked weird. They chose Shia LaBeouf because of his, quote, quirky look. With this being his major film role, and a fantastic one at that, he can't hate it, can he? Okay, Shia, shut the heck up. Holes absolutely would not be the masterpiece that it is without some of the supporting members of the crew. I would like to recognize some of the members of D-Tent who are Stanley's campmates. All of these actors were mostly one-hit wonders with this movie. We don't really see them at all today. We got the likes of Cleo Thomas playing Stanley's right-hand man, Zero.
You want to know why they call him Zero? Because there's nothing going on in his stupid little head.
Anyways, we see Cleo quite a bit nowadays. He's started doing his own YouTube channel, and it seems like he's busy doing his own thing lately. Good on him. I hope everything is going great, Cleo. Then we got Zigzag, my favorite boy, played by Ninja's wife's favorite boy, Max Cash.
My pronouns are he, not him. Because I'll never be him.
Also Max. This you? Looking like Young Gravy nowadays. Hope Max Cash is doing pretty good, because his music is really good. You should go listen to it. Up next, we got X-Ray played by Brendan Jefferson.
Man, you did not steal no Clyde Livingston Sweet Feet shoes.
X-Ray is the character that seriously stands out to me in this movie. X-Ray is the leader of the D-Tent, and he's been at the camp the longest out of the boys. He's the alpha.
So I call it an informed decision, though.
Brendan Jefferson's portrayal of X-Ray is just amazing. What Brendan is doing nowadays is shrouded with mystery. Nobody really has a clue. He hasn't really been in the spotlight since 2004, and there are rumors that Brandon passed away February 17th, 2019. Whether they're true or not, I really can't say. Up next, we got Byron Cotton playing the legend himself, Armpit.
See, look at the little fishies. Oh.
Byron also disappeared from the spotlight during the early 2000s, although Byron seems to have reappeared in 2014 for a little bit on Twitter. It's interesting because you can still tell he's holding on to the Holes nostalgia. He retweeted Holes quotes, had Armpit on his profile, etc. But the thing that stood out to me the most was the fact that he retweeted a Shia LaBeouf tweet. This makes me think, ever since Shia has blown up and the other boys have fallen out of the spotlight, do they still keep in touch? I'm sure the D-Tent boys still do, but I'd be surprised if Shia did as well. We all know what he's up to nowadays.
Do it! Just do it!
Now we got Miguel Castro playing Magnet. I got crazy lucky and actually found Miguel's Instagram. It seems that Miguel is now a family man and he's just enjoying his life with them. Also, he works at a vision clinic in Los Angeles and he posts about selling glasses. It's really cool to see how Miguel's doing, and I honestly hope he's doing fantastic. Up next, we've got Jake M. Smith playing Squid, and he's completely off-grid now. I have no clue what he's up to, but I hope he's doing well. Finally, we got the homie Twitch who pulls up halfway through the movie because he stole a car.
You should have seen me behind the wheel of that Mustang convertible.
Played by Noah Poltik. Noah is now the co-owner of a coffee company, and it seems like he's well off. All of these guys are unforgettable people with unforgettable characters. Also, I want to touch more on Scott Plank. I really need to throw this in here. Scott Plank is the guy who, well, he played this guy.
Too damn bad!
And he died before the movie came out. He was never able to watch this masterpiece that he helped create. Everyone remembers that scene that he was in. I hope people remember Scott, and I hope that Scott rests in peace. Thank you so much, Scott, for everything you did. The music in Holes is absolutely stunning, and it fits the movie. We've got that one gosh dang song that hasn't left my brain for 5 years, Dig It Up. We've also got soul, blues, indie rock by the Eels, a teensy tiny bit of country. Thank goodness it's only a little bit for a movie that takes place in Texas. And best of all, we've got Shaggy! Of course I can't play any of these songs, but go ahead and take a little listen if you have the time. Also, it's not just the score that's amazing, but even the soundtrack made for the movie by Joel McNeely. He made music for the Young Indiana Jones franchise and the Pixie Hollow games. Seriously, such a fantastic soundtrack. I wish I could show you and not get like banished from YouTube. Now this is something I can show you. I don't have the greatest knowledge on cinematography, but I do know that there are some absolutely stunning and beautiful shots in Holes. I mean, sure, the editing is super wacky sometimes, and spooky little CGI lizards don't hold up so well.
Did you tell him about the lizards?
You don't bother them, they won't bother you. Usually.
But the cinematic shots make me feel like I'm in Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul. Weirdly enough, this is especially prevalent during the credits. The shots are honestly so beautiful, and that's saying a lot for a weird little 2003 Disney movie. I just want to take a second and let you guys bask in these beautiful shots. They are pretty dang good. When my sister texted me out of the blue a couple months ago asking me why the heck I like this goofy movie, I couldn't really answer at first. This is not an ordinary kid's movie. I found it just so wacky and so overall crazily good. Holes is just such a weird and unique movie. I don't know. I guess to answer my sister's question on why I like the movie so much, it's always had a certain charm about it. It's the perfect movie to me. I don't mind if you don't think so too, but if you couldn't tell already, I'm obsessed. I really just wanted to talk about one of my favorite movies of all time while it's celebrating its 20th anniversary. This movie is so zany, so weird, and it is so different. I really love Holes so much, and I hope you guys watch it if you haven't yet. And I hope you guys think so too. It may not be the greatest Disney movie ever made, but it's definitely my favorite one, and it's definitely a different kind of Disney movie like Shia said. That I think we can all agree on. Shout out to Holes for being 20. That's really old. That's crazy to think about too. Also, shout out to you for watching this 20-year-long video. Thanks for watching.